What's going on, Aces? Welcome back to the channel. I hope that all of you guys are enjoying this beautiful sunshine-filled day. So, Don Lemon, right? He he has had an interesting couple of years in his career. So, he's been on CNN for a very long time, and he got let go by by the executives for making disparaging remarks in regards to Nikki Haley's age when he said that she was quote unquote past her prime. So they let him go and they, fulfilled his contract. They gave him a multi-million dollar settlement. Great, good for him. So he was really excited about working with Elon Musk and, all the different streaming platforms, bringing back the Don Lemon show on his own terms, right? Okay, so we're like, that's great. You secured the bag, you're moving forward. That's wonderful. Congratulations. Don Lemon has been pretty controversial, throughout my lifetime. He was originally known for being someone who was, um, I don't want to say anti Black, but I will say that he was heavily invested in respectability politics, right? Like he would always talk about, young men sagging, and he was just very conservative in his framework and his narrative and, his thinking. And many people typically are until it happens to them. So he made a post today, and I'm going to let you guys hear in his own words, and then we'll come back and give some commentary and talk about it.
Hi everyone, Elon Musk is mad at me, and I just put out a statement about what happened between him, me, and the interview that he is apparently so upset about. But make no mistake about this. This is going to be my first episode of the Don Lemon Show this coming Monday, March 18th, so make sure you tune in. This does not change anything about the show except for my relationship with Elon and X. And there's a whole lot that went down, and I'm going to tell you about in the coming days. I know, though, that many of you were not happy that I was doing this in the first place, and you told me so. I just want you to know that I did this deal because not only do I believe in free speech, but I believed that this was the best possible chance for the work that I'm doing to reach the largest amount of people. So speaking of free speech, right, I thought the first person interviewed, no brainer, Elon Musk, the man who calls himself a free speech absolutist. I asked him to do it. He willingly agreed to the interview. Throughout our conversation, I kept reiterating to him that although it was tense at times, I thought it was good for people to see and hear our exchange and that they would learn from our conversation, learn more about him, learn more about me. But apparently, free speech absolutism doesn't apply when it comes to questions about him from people like me. What did we talk about? Why is he so upset? Does he even have a reason to be upset? Make sure you watch it on Monday on YouTube and everywhere you listen to podcasts, and you can decide for yourself. You can even watch it on X because I'm still going to post it there, and I'm sure others will as well.
So there you have it, right? So I'm not really sure what he was expecting from someone who grew up benefiting from South African apartheid. But, and by the way, South Africa does not have free speech, from my understanding, listening to Trevor Noah and how he grew up. But yeah, this is not someone who is forward thinking, who is, all inclusive. Twitter or X has completely changed since, Jack sold it. So I'm going to let you guys hear what Elon Musk had to say directly to Don Lemon.
Don, the only reason I'm doing this interview is because you're on the X platform and you asked for it. Otherwise, I would not do this interview.
So you don't think, do you think that you wouldn't get in trouble or you wouldn't be criticized for these things?
I'm criticized constantly. I could care less.
This is the same person that flicked off, he put up both of his middle fingers and flicked off the advertisers. Like he was mad that Disney, I think it was Apple, some of the hugest advertisers in the world that were leaving the Twitter or X platform. And he basically said, he said, F you to these huge advertisers. That has to be the most self-sabotaging thing I can think of. He was upset that the advertisers didn't like, a lot of the embracing right-wing ideologies and things of that sort. So the fact that, Don Lemon has got this wake-up call, that he's so surprised is, I don't know, it's always astonishing to me that he wouldn't know this far in his career. Now, in regards to the statement, and if you guys can't read it, I'll read it to you, but this is what was put out. He says, quote, Elon Musk has canceled the partnership I had with X, which they announced as part of their public commitment to amplifying more diverse voices on their platform. He informed me of his decision hours after an interview I conducted with him on Friday. That interview will remain the premiere episode of The Don Lemon Show on Monday, March 18th. Elon publicly encouraged me to join X with a new show, saying that I would have his full support and that his digital town square is for all. He and his team pursued the deal in numerous conversations and made significant commitments about the support X would provide for the show. I made the decision to work with them in a unique partnership that I believe would ultimately assure that my work would be available to most people in the largest possible venue. I took Elon and his management team's word that day. For the first time, we're interested in working directly with new and diverse voices. There were no restrictions on the interview that he willingly agreed to, and my questions were respectful and wide ranging, covering everything from SpaceX to the presidential election. We had a good conversation. Clearly, he felt differently. His commitment to a global town square where all questions can be asked and all ideas can be shared seems not to include questions of him from people like me. Our conversation will be available on YouTube, wherever you listen to podcasts, and X. This will be just the first of many episodes of The Don Lemon Show. While Elon goes back on his word, I will be doubling down on my commitment to free speech, and I cannot wait to get started. Okay, Don. Well, in the left picture, it's like, that's how it started. And on the right, that's how it's going. If you have not recognized the pattern, sir, that all these promises made during 2020 about inclusivity, diverse voices, the commitments made, the money thrown out, the books bought, there has been a swift backlash, right? Of so many of your colleagues being laid off, Tiffany Fox or Cross. I mean, I don't know who Fox is, but Tiffany Cross was laid off. Mindy was laid off. I'm trying to think who else. There's so many people who have lost their positions in media. There were such strong voices. I mean, Florida is doing everything they can. They're banning our history. They are dismantling, any offices that have anything to do with DEI. And I'm sure other states are going to follow suit. I think Arkansas with Sarah Huckabee Sanders is, rolling back child labor laws. And a lot of these civil rights and civil liberties that we fought for, that our ancestors fought for, and not even our ancestors, our grandparents, it's not been that long ago, are being systematically dismantled. So for you to be surprised by this gentleman that hails from a country that only dismantled their apartheid system in the 80s, right? Most of us that are here on this planet were alive in the 1980s. And so, yeah, Elon Musk, I mean, he talks a good game about free speech, but as soon as he bought Twitter, I mean, he fired most of his staff, had them there all types of, night past midnight, had people sleeping in the office just very abusive work practices, that, not paying his workers. Other countries were, filing lawsuits. It was a mess. This is not someone, in my opinion, that values free speech. I mean, he was mad that people blocked him. He was forcing people to to not block him. He just completely changed Twitter. Twitter used to be, back when the blue checks were specifically for, you know, um, government officials and, celebrities and things like that. But they were trusted badges that we could say, oh, this is coming from a place of integrity or information. It was a communal place where people could trust the information. Now there's so many bots and there's so much misinformation out there. It's a mess. I'm not sure really what Don was thinking, but I don't know why this interview was so important, especially since he just said that he wouldn't even have really did it, or he would have paid, Don dust if he wasn't asked specifically. Um, I'm not sure, but I hope that this is a wake up call for Mr. Lemon, because there are no amount of respectability politics you can, do to make someone honor your voice if they don't respect your humanity. Those are my thoughts. And if Don hasn't learned that by now, I'm sure he's going to learn it very, very soon. I'm hoping in the near future. But you guys, let me know your thoughts. What do you think about the Don Lemon show? What do you think about him essentially being canceled by Twitter, by X? You'll still be able to pick it up through YouTube and, the other streaming platforms if you guys want to support. But I want to hear from you. Please be sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and I will talk with you in the next one. Take care, Aces. Bye.